Evening people, welcome back to the channel. Let me know if it sounds alright. It should be. I've not touched anything since yesterday, so hopefully it's all coming through loud and clear. So tonight I'm bringing you round 5 of the Mini Challenge UK series. We are coming live from Red Bull Ring tonight. We are in the wet, so expect some shenanigans, maybe a bit of sideways action. So looks like they've not started quali yet, I don't think. Simon Hillary's in, James Hillary's left, so I think we're just waiting for James to join. Let's have a flick through, see who we have got in the room. 14 drivers at the minute, so Alex Neville, NGR Cutler, Dan Lord, Moleman, Big Z, Tom, Potter McPott, Zach Blackwell, Toby Goodman, Morgan, not Chanel. I've got Nathaniel, I've got Simon Hillary, and we've got Scar Wars in the room. So I think we are just waiting for James Hillary to get back in. 2 races for you guys tonight. I've got 15 minutes of quali and then 2 15-minute races. Reverse grid for second race. No fuel or tyre wear on tonight, but we are, as I say, coming from a very wet Red Bull tonight. Let's go and have a look on tracks and show you just how wet it is. NGR Cutler. He's got his wipers on. See the spray coming off the back of the car just while we're having a few practice laps with NGR Cutler. Rain coming down. Okay, Alex Neville's left the room. So yeah, the rain coming down pretty hard. Let's have a quick look, see what tyres. Let's change that. See what tyres he's on the full wets, not the intermediates, is NGR Cutler. I would expect everyone to follow suit. So race 2, the weather might change. It might be slightly lighter rain where they have to flick to intermediates. Yeah, some of these turns, turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. And the final turn, actually, all going to be quite good fun in these minis tonight in the wet. So let's go back on board with Cutler. Starts a new lap, so into turn 1 then. Outbraking himself already. You can see the wet just affecting these cars. Drivers have a usual braking spot that they're obviously still getting used to. Speed then down towards turn 2, another ridiculously sharp off-camber turn. It's uphill, as I say, off-camber, just wants to throw you wide at every opportunity. Hard on the brakes, then not too hard, slipping out. So a little kink just over the edge there. Cutler just about keeping it on track. Back down the hill towards turn 3. So when the GR3s race here in the wet, they have so much power that they actually spin the tyres up when they roll through the big puddles of wet. Getting hard on the brakes for Cutler. Down into turn 3. Easy to run wide there, even in the dry. Heading towards the centre of the track then. Again, still quite awkward, not too bad in the dry. Let's see how Cutler gets on in the wet. A little bit wide, a tiny bit of sand for him. So just having to be tentative with the brakes and the gas. Car just trying to drag you off track at every opportunity. So heading towards the final few turns of this track then. Again, braking at the Marshall's point. Just letting it roll through first section on the brakes again through this final turn. Again, easy to get this one wrong in the dry. Cutler then back on the, oh, he's not on the power, he's running his penalty off. But that's Red Bull Ring in the wet. It's not, it won't be the prettiest. There'll be spray everywhere. Drivers will struggle to see, right, especially at the start of the races. So, are we still waiting on James Hillary? Yes, we are. Here he is. So we have got James Hillary 04 and Simon Hillary 10. Related, cousin, brothers, dad, uncles, who knows? I think they're cousins apparently, possibly a mechanic from the chat. What's going to happen if the mechanic beats the driver? Cliche, evening mate. Noel, no fold, fantastic circuit, shame it's raining. It's going to be interesting. So, okay, Cutler just changing the room settings. What's he actually changed it to? Practice into race then. Okay. Oh, he's changed the time of day to sunny. What's he done that for? Ah, that's better. 4:45 in the morning in the rain. So slightly dark, slightly dangerous. So yes, 15 minutes of qualifying. And then 2 15-minute races. Like I say, reverse grid for race 2. No fuel or tyre wear on for these races tonight. It is a mix of, just wait until we're out of the pits. We're all getting deafened about now. I am, I know that. I'll tell you what, let me turn my headphones down so I'm not getting that full volume. So it is a mix of sim racers and real world drivers tonight. So flick through. In fact, let me just pull that up first. So I don't look like too much of a donut. So I don't know all of the sim racers' names, funnily enough, but I have got a list of all the real world drivers. Just got to figure out who's who. Moleman, forgotten. Is that Mollinson? Is that Andy Mollinson? Could be. So we've got Dan Butcher Lord, or Dan KBL. Doesn't like me calling him Dank. We've got Tom Simpkins, TS21111. Potter McPot, I do know his name. It's Neville Cluley, a friend of mine. On and off the track. James Hillary is obviously James Hillary. Blackwell 411 is Zach Blackwell. Toby Goodman, who is aka Toby Goodman. NGR Cutler is Chris Cutler. Oh, see, I do know some of the sim racers' names. That is one of the sim racers. Simon Hillary, aka Simon Hillary, mechanic and possible driver for next year, depending on how he performs tonight. Scar Wars, I do know his name from the chat group, but I don't know right this second. NGR Bigsy is is Carl Sykes, one of the sim racers. Scarwell's also being a sim racer. Nathaniel Golin, one of the real world drivers, driving the coastal car. He's decided to put that livery back to red tonight. And although it says Chanel on the screen, this is actually Morgan Jones. Got in trouble for calling him Chanel. Leave a like if you can, guys, it helps a lot. Thank you, Cliche. Doing good for subs, dude. Thank you. Road to 400 for you. Yeah, not far off, not far off. What is it, 465, 466? I think I've had a new subscriber tonight. Thank you very much for that. So into this qualifying then, let's start flicking it up to first man out on track, see how it's getting on. So just starting the hot laps now. And it's quite a long track for these minis. 2 minutes 8 on the out lap. If they start putting in sub 2 minutes, even with these wet conditions. Then tentatively on lap 1. So some of the drivers have only just left the pits. Skip back up to Moleman as he comes around this last turn. He'll be the first man to put a hot lap in. So comes across the line with a 2:04.7. Dan's coming right behind him with a 2:03.9. GS in third, then 2:04.5. Pushed down though. Toby Goodman's put in a 2:03.1, so a big chunk in front of Dan now, 3/4 of a second. He took a penalty as well, probably running a bit wide through turn 1. Easily done in these conditions. 4:1, and he's chucked himself into third with a 2:04.1. Pushes TS down and Moleman. Hillary at 2:04.9. He's been pushed down to 6th. Simon Hillary on 7th position at the minute, 2:06.9. Bottom pot in 8th, 2:03.8. Looks like he picked up a penalty though. That not counting for his fastest. So NGR Cutler 2:08.4. Morgan, he's yet to put a hot lap in. He has just got this last turn to go. So let's see what Morgan puts in. He's down at the back of the minute. He's at a 2:03.9, so chucks himself up into 5th position. So let's just flick back through the order. Toby Goodman, as we just flick over to him, putting in purple sectors. Holding P1 on the grid, that 2:03.1. MBG, so it looks like he's left and come back. His, unless that lap 1 is his fastest lap. Must have stormed out the pits. Allman's gone quicker. He's put in a 2:03.184, 3,000th quicker than Toby Goodman. Pot then put in a flyer. 2:02.6 for Potter and Pot. Just been pipped by James Hillary though, he's put in a 2:02.6 as well. So everyone being pushed down a spot or two, with James and Potter sneaking up from there. driver. It won't show me. There we go. So we've got Scar Wars. Let's come on board with Scar Wars as he's being followed. He's picked up a penalty for that last corner. Indiscretion. So we'll go on with Scar Wars. He is being closely chased by Bigsy at the minute. He's run himself deep through turn 1 already. As he comes through then. He's only qualifying, so I shan't be racing it out. Get to see Bigsy now attempt these corners from Scar Wars' point of view. Let's put the info back on for you. Let's see if they make it through turn 2. Again, gotta be careful if you take too much of that inside curb as well. That can launch your car into oblivion. Then towards turn 3. See where Bigsy brakes. So just at that last white marker. Scar Wars running a little bit deep through there again. 2 wheels on the sand. 1 or 2 drivers have been through there previously by the look of things. So he has to head through this centre section of the track. It's just a big double apexed hairpin almost, but it's massive. So it's tentative in, tentative out on this one. Let's see, Scar Wars, he's picked up another penalty, he's just having to lose that. So back on the power then down this last straight. It's quite a long track for these minis. Rolls it through this first section of the last turn, just running deep still. Through the final turn. And there's a kink on there as well. Again, picking up a penalty for that. So you've got to be so careful on that one. So Scar Wars unfortunately down in 13th currently. Chucked himself in the pits for good measure. So James Hillary out front at the minute with that 202.667. Pot still holding on to second, 202.684. On that third, 202.861. Dan's in fourth with a 203.152, so gone a little bit quicker as Dan. Goodman then down in fifth now, 203.1. Tom is in sixth with the 203.2. Nathan seventh. Again, left to come back, no time on the board. He does hold on to that position. That was previous outed. So no time shown on the board. He does hold on to that seventh. 203.4. Just across the line. He's got to penalty for that last corner as well. Toby Goodman doing the same. So 203.7. Morgan in 10th. Again, he's disappeared and come back. Holding on to the 10th at the minute. See what he's got when he comes through this next lap. 11 minutes into quali, so 15. It's been 2 minutes long. Not going to get many at it. NGR Cutler then in 11th position, 204.001 for NGR Cutler. Simon Hillary, the mechanic with a possible drive next year, 205.2. Especially if he brings the car home in good condition as well, not all dented up. Some good drivers. Still at the back of the pack. Yeah, he's, as I say, when you chuck yourself back in the pits like Scar Wars did, his take times off screen after restart, although he was sitting at the back anyway, so his position won't change from there. So we've got cousin, brother, dad, uncles fighting it out, even though it's qualifying. So far, looking for him, 202.6 compared to, where's he gone? Let's find So work for Simon to do. He just needs to follow James around, learn the lines. So he might possibly go quicker this lap if he can stick with James. Just around 2 minutes left in quali. That's enough for one more lap. You're getting near the sub 2 minutes at the minute. Let's just stick with Simon and see what he's got. No pressure, Simon. No pressure at all. Oh, did he really? There you go. So no fold then, just saying, piping up saying that Simon Hillary raced in the 2012 Mini Challange Series. Okay. So a penalty for that last turn though. That time in 2:06.7, so I'm not able to go quicker. Sean, evening mate, how you doing? Have you come down after your win on Friday? Yeah, I've calmed down after that, mate. Yeah, I've calmed down after that. I shouted so loudly that my missus and my son both thought I'd just crashed into a wall again and was swearing at someone. But no, I was actually shouting yes really loud because I'd just crossed the line. And first ever win in the GTTCC, people. I'll just let you know that. Sorry, that's right. Rant over. James still holding P1. Stop it, Sean. Get me all hyped up again. He's still on that 2:02.6, so not able to go any quicker than that currently. It's good enough for now. He's got a minute left in this quali. Try and hold on to that. Not that he can do anything about it. Bottom of pot looks like he's quite content at the minute. He's not going to get around to start another lap, I don't think. So old man third then. He's just done a 2:02.7. Again, another penalty last corner. So possibly you might see a lot of the real world drivers picking up penalties more than the sim racing drivers, just due to the fact that the sim racing drivers maybe know the limits a little bit more. Old man putting all sorts of pressure on the Scar Wars as they head round this final lap for quali. 10 seconds left for the on the timer. BG just chucking himself on the grass to get out of the way of Scar Wars and Moleman. Right in the slipstream of Scar Wars. So they will just about get to finish this lap. Got one or two drivers in the pits already. See if there's any position changes in these last few seconds. Another minute, so backwards on the start-finish straight. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Potter McPot. I was expecting it to be Potter McPot. Apologies, Potter. So, Moleman right out of that slipstream then, so possibly not looking to go quicker on this one. It was Potter McPot, look. Messing about. Sim racers do like testing the... oh dear. Tom's left the room. Let's hope he gets back in. I know it's not going to dive straight into the race, so he should get a chance to come back into the room. Unless he's rage quit, I hope not. It can happen to the best of them. So James Hillary then, holding on to P1. It's Potter McPot gone. He's going to lose his qualifying time if he doesn't get back in the lobby. James Hillary holding P1 on the grid with that 2:02.7 on lap 3. Unable to go quicker that in that qualifying session. With Potter McPot leaving the room, that throws Dan now up into second place. He's managed to chuck himself in front of Moleman. So yeah, just waiting to see what's happening with Tom. Pot needs to get himself back on track and through the first sector, otherwise he won't get his second position. first sector. That just verifies his time. He gets put back into second position. I nearly forgot that myself on Friday and lost my second position start place on the grid. I had to go for a Bandalulu lap around the first few corners just to try and get through the first sector, but did it, and then won. Gosh, enough of that. Stop it, Sean. Tom's back. Okay. So shouldn't be long. James Hewitt left his handbrake off. Dan ghosting out. Moleman ghosting out. Toby Goodman still having a rip round. Zach Blackwell trying to take out Bigsy in reverse. Eugene now backwards, testing the drift capabilities of that Mini. Bigsy's forgot his handbrake. Cutler's ghosting. Like I say, just waiting for Tom to actually get back on the racetrack. He is back in. Okay, so he needs to get himself out of the pits, I think. About does happen when we're waiting. Boys do get a little bit antsy, start drifting these minis. There we go. Trying an Italian job. These guys. Where's the red one? Watching team. On top again. Who's pole, boys? You should pay attention to your race, James. Although you've stuck it in P1, let me give you some credit. Right. Okay. So Cutler just saying good luck to everyone. Not thank you. He's saying good luck to everyone. So we're about to start the first race. Here we go. Look. Does make me laugh. Right, so 3 seconds as Pot smashes it into the wall. Right. So James Hillary takes pole position, then Potter McPot in second. So it's a sim racer and a real world driver on the front row of the grid. 2 real world drivers on the second row. Third row also real world and fourth row. So we're just waiting for the lights to drop. So they're away. It's not a great start by Dan. Toby Goodman's got past him. Looks like. Names to pop. Looks like Blackwell's going to come through. So yeah, Zach's taking that position off him as well. So James Hillary holds on to P1 through turn 1, then Potter McPot holding it on track. Someone's running wide behind. Moleman right on Potter's tail though. So the top 3 just needing a little bit of a gap now from P4. Second back to Toby Goodman at the minute. Hounded by Dan. Pot going for a completely different line through here. Also looking for the cutback, I think Potter, not quite able to do it. Putting all sorts of pressure on James Hillary. So we'll go on board already with Potter McPot as he tries to take this position off James. A bit of a nudge down the hill. Not sure what happened there. Looks like a bit of glitching from James. Slow Potter right down though. I'm not able to get past him. Yeah, you can see James's car just skipping about a little bit. So that's what caused him to suddenly smash into Potter McPot. It wasn't a brake check. I don't think these drivers are like that. Go, 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 says Noel. So Noel, James holding it in P1 currently. Potter McPot still right there with him. Right behind, we've still got Moleman and a big clash of minis going on behind. MBG leading that pack now, trying to close in on the 3 drivers in front. We've got Dan trying to make a move. Moleman's got past him though. NG sideways. Sorry, not Moleman. Dan's just got past Toby Goodman in the background. Let's flick through to a different camera. So let's go and have a look at this battle back here. Fourth, we've got Nathaniel in fourth, Dan in fifth. We've got Toby in sixth, Blackwell in seventh, Tom in eighth. And a little bit further back, we've got Cutler, Morgan, Biggsy, Scar Wars, and Simon Hillary. Simon Hillary now a bit off the back of these boys, 5.2 seconds back. Only into lap one. I'm not sure whether Simon's been off track. I was paying attention to the guys at the front. So back on this ultimate pot then through turn one down the start, finish straight, get in up front, taking the lead from James Hillary. He's now under pressure from Moleman. Ultimate pot's got a bit of a gap as well, 3.3 of a second. Through turn two cleanly then. James Hillary's running a bit wide. Stanley's run wide behind him. There's MBG, he's running himself wide, but not picked up a penalty for that. Looking to get away with that one for MBG. Now trying to make the move on James Hillary as well. Oh, a little bit of contact down the inside, but he's run himself a bit too deep and into the sand, so now losing positions. Toby Goodman getting past Zach Blackwell, looking to make a move. TS going down the inside. Have the line on the inside to the next turn. Might run side by side. There's a bit of sideways action from Tom to try and get around the outside of Nathaniel. Not able to do it at the minute. Does just get his nose in front through the next turn. Just allows him to sneak through up into sixth place and put the pressure back on Toby Goodman in front. So let me head back up to the front, make sure I've not missed anything. Pop then extending that lead a little bit, 0.6 of a second. So Moleman getting past James Hillary, then up into second. He's not let Potter McPot get away just yet. James Hillary from first to third, then now with a 2-second gap to those drivers in front. He's got Dan pushing him around that last turn. Now down the start, finish straight. Back in the slipstream for Dan. Throws himself out to the outside. So James just blocking him off. Oh, braked himself a little bit. Back to James Hillary, and that's allowed Toby Goodman to come through at full speed and take that third position. Pushes James Hillary down to fifth then. So we're having a bit of a battle at the minute, is James. He's under pressure from Nathaniel behind as well for that position. Got two other drivers. We've got Tom and Zach as well closing in. So through turn two cleanly. Corner, difficult to get right, as I say, in the wet especially. So NGR Cutler now on the back of this fight, along with Morgan. Scar Wars up into 11th behind. So now pushed down into 12th, and Simon Hillary losing a little bit more time as well to the drivers in front. Keeping it clean so far. It's fastest lap in a 2:12 currently. So Pot still out front, still being pressured by Moleman for that position. He's not managed to run away with it yet. And another big gap back to third place. Dan. He's now coming under pressure down the inside from Toby Goodman though. I was just about to flick away from that. Toby Goodman just swooping down the inside there, taking that position off of Dan. That's a good move by Toby. Taken that position, but obviously had it taken off him around turn 3. So Nathaniel up to 5th and Tom in 6th, Zach 7th. What's going on with James Hillary? Where's he going? Where has he gone? There he is. 8th now. He's positions all over the place, James. He's gone from 1st to 3rd to 5th, now 8th position. He's in a bundle of minis as well. He's got to fend off Zach, who's trying to go around the outside of him. Zach's got a nose in front, whether that benefits him down here, I don't know yet. Looks like Zach's got a good run. Morgan's closing in on this pair as well, dragging Cutler with him. So Cutler's only half a second back himself. Scarwell slowly closing in on this pack too. So it's becoming a good old fight right at the back here. Well, not right at the back, midway through. Pot then, he has managed to make a bit of a break then. 1.3 seconds he's got over Moleman now. So a bit of work to do for Moleman if he's looking to get P1 in this race. Toby Goodman then, you've got to go on board with Toby Goodman. Rear view camera. He's run himself a bit deep through the last turn. That's allowed Dan to make a bit of a move, not quite able to do it. Now back in the slipstream. Head down through this centre section, but he's gone for another move down the inside. Turn 4, in contact between those two. Daniel's just waiting for a bit of gap down the inside, not quite able to do it there, trying to go down the inside, but Tom's there, he can't get through either. So having to back off from the fight between Dan and Toby, just losing a bit of time. So MBG's going to keep that position on the inside line into this last sector anyway. So yes, through this last turn then, let's see if they get through it cleanly. MBG's picked up 0.4 of a second penalty. Toby Goodman's held on to that third position for now. So Pot 1.2 seconds up front now. Moleman in second. Pulling a big gap from third place, 5.3 seconds. Toby Goodman now being really pressured for that third position by Dan. Back in the slipstream for Dan, can he make a move down into turn 2? So he chucks himself out to the left hand side of the track. He's got a slight inside line through this kink. Toby will have the inside line into the turn. It just depends who's got the metal through this wet off camber. Where is he? There he is, he's gone past already. So Toby Goodman getting a good drive through that turn, able to pull in front and keep that third position from Dan. MBG and TS21 still battling it out for that fifth position right behind them. Closing in on the braking as well for MBG down the inside, a little bit of contact into turn 3. Tiny bit deep, 2 wheels on the sand for Dan. Some of the pressure from Tom now. He's missing his gear changes a little bit. So almost 3 wide as the turn 4. Still a little bumpy bargey between these lot. Maybe not quite knowing braking zones in these wet conditions. So 3 wide through turn 5. Sideways for Dan's car. TS and MBG getting through there now. James Hillary coming back through the pack, he's up into 7th, piling pressure on these drivers in front, trying to go down the inside of MBG into this final little section. He has got the inside line, has he got a nose in next to, yes he has got a nose in next to MBG. Goes down the inside then, he's got the inside line into the final turn as well. Unfortunately that's just pushed MBG massively wide. Not through contact, just the line he had to take to avoid contact. He's pushed it massively wide and off track, so down in 7th position now in MBG. Zach Blackwell in 8th then, still in the middle of this fight. Morgan right behind him, just trying to drop off that penalty. It's been difficult in the middle of all these minis. The spray doesn't help either. Scarwell's up to 10th now, NGR Cutler in 11th. So a few of these drivers holding penalties. Big C closed in on this fight as well, looking to get past Cutler into 11th. Simon Hillary 19.2 back, just struggling a little bit tonight. It's the first drive for us anyway. Not been had Gran Turismo or PlayStation, so who knows. Back out front then, Potter McPot, 1.3 seconds. Moleman still not allowed him to disappear. I've only got 3.5 minutes remaining on the clock. So close that time down a little bit, has Moleman behind. Got that gap down to 1.1 seconds. And now's the time he needs to make a move if he's looking to close that gap up and take that position with only 3 minutes left on the clock. Get 2 laps in maximum. So Toby out on his own in 3rd position now. A bit of a gap in front, 7 seconds to Moleman, but a big gap behind, a bit of breathing space for him from Dan and Tom. Now battling it out for 5th. So bumper to bumper action through this one. James Hillary's 6th now. He's gone past Zach. Zach's had to go a little bit defensive to try and fend off MBG behind. Scar Wars drifting it massively deep, trying to take that position off of MBG. Unfortunately, that's compromised him massively. He's now coming under loads of pressure from Morgan behind. Cutler and Bigsy as well. Poor Simon Hillary now 20 seconds back in this one. You can see the gap on the top right hand side, the gap developed between Simon Hillary and the drivers in front. We'll get there. So Potter Pot still leading this one, 1.2 seconds. It's also holding fastest lap of this race, 2:02.5. Moleman's still there with him though. Just waiting for a little bit of a mistake from Potter. Not seen one yet though. So Toby Goodman still holding on to 3rd. Dan has managed to make a tiny bit of a break. So he's up in 4.8 of a second back to James Hillary, now up into 5th. So coming back through the pack after his not great start really. Started in 1st and just kept losing positions. Now trying to fight his way back through, but he's now got a gaggle of minis behind him trying to get past. He's got MBG in 6th, TS in 7th, Blackwell in 8th. It is a bit bumpy in these minis. Zach and TS getting into shenanigans again. Morgan coming through, then sweeping through into 8th, taking that position off of Zach. Can he get past TS? Well, he's had a good drive through that little chicane section. On the outside line into this turn. Morgan's been pushed a little bit wide. He's chucked himself back into the slipstream, so just chucked himself up to P1 driver Potter McPot. We have only got 10 seconds left on the clock. So he's held a good lead. 1.1 seconds still he's got from Moleman in 2nd, Ali Mollison. Just putting in a little purple sector there for Moleman. Let's see whether that gets him fastest lap on this last one. 2:02.6 on that last lap, so that's his fastest of the race. Just putting in purple sectors as well. We'll stick with this pair until the end of the race, just so we don't miss anything. I'm maybe looking at 10th and 12th when Potter McPot and Moleman are battling out as they come across the line. Would be good commentating, would it? So the timer has ticked over. We have got 1:35 run-off time for the guys to get round and actually cross the line. Potter McPot's just going to keep it on track. See, it's still soaking wet at Red Bull Ring tonight. Moleman trying to close in on him. He's been there pretty much the whole race as Moleman. He was closer than this. Potter McPot just managed to make a break about halfway through. And Mollinson's not managed to really close back up on Potter McPot in this one. So Potter McPot then. He's going to come across the line. Great big handbrake to take 1st place. Mollinson takes 2nd place. That was a good good race from those pair. Keep it that close for so long, especially in these conditions. Toby Goodman then coming home in third. Dan's going to come home in fourth, just drops that penalty before the line. Richie fifth, James Hillary sixth, Blackwell seventh, TS Tom at ninth, NGR Biggsy in 10th, Scar Wars 11th, NGR Cutler 12th, and Simon Hillary in 13th. So we'll have a few minutes break and then we jump into race 2. Reverse grid. That puts Simon Hillary at the front. He'll have to fend off 12 other mini drivers into turn 1, possibly turn 2 as well. So we'll see how he gets on with that one. Can be quite daunting, especially in these conditions. And the last thing you want to do is cause chaos. I feel like I'm picking on him now. You're probably a really good driver, probably better than me, but you know, you're not a better driver. I'm a wicked driver. Let's see if everyone was happy with that then. It was cleaner than I expected. I was expecting little minis to be spinning off, to be perfectly honest. Admittedly, we have got race 2 to go, which is always a little bit more fighty because the faster guys obviously have to start from the back and try and battle their way through. It is only a 15-minute race as well, and if you get stuck in V-Good in a little bit of a mid-pack battle, it can make it really difficult for you to get through. It does make it a little bit frustrating sometimes. Not saying the drivers will get frustrated, being professional drivers that they are, they won't get frustrated. And just try and hold the nerve and wait for the gaps. No dive bombing into turn 1, people. That's what we don't want to see, especially at this track in these conditions. So I hope everyone's all right. Country slowly coming out of lockdown. That's it, channel banned. That's it, I mentioned it. Sim racing has been a good alternative for some of the real world drivers to keep their foot in, so to speak. So nothing in the chat on PlayStation lobby. That's good to see. Everyone looks like they were reasonably happy with that one, unless they've been told to keep stum because it's being broadcast live and they're screaming and shouting in other chat groups at each other. They're not doing that. Yeah, how did no one bin it then, Noel? Huh? Professionalism, I would say. Talent. Yeah, I suppose a steep learning curve, especially for the real world drivers. If they've not, the sim racers obviously play this game possibly daily, so they would have had every combination of every car, of possibly every track in every weather condition up till now. Whereas the real world drivers, yes, okay, they've got real world experience, but that doesn't always play out to sim racing. It's not you're not getting all the feel you would from an actual car on the road. No G's. And yeah, to go from a few weeks of racing in the dry on different tracks to throw them out into the wet, they've all done pretty damn well, I'd say. Noel, to be honest. Like I say, I was expecting to see a few minis backwards and sideways and doing pirouettes on the grass, parking up, going into rage, chat, full caps, apostrophes, and maybe even an emoji in there. Like I say, still got race 2 to go. go. Chat group tyre quiet as well. Word yet as to what time the second race is starting. Let's see, Chris Cussler has changed a few of the room settings. So we're now mid-afternoon, 5:30 in the afternoon. It's still raining, not quite as much though. I think you might see intermediates being used in race 2. So what has he changed? Grid order has been set to reverse grid. Maximum tyre rating is heavy wets, and the minimum tyre rating is now super softs if you really wanted to. I don't think that'll play out well in these conditions though. Let's just have a flick through, see what everyone's on. So Cutter is on the racing super soft, he's giving those a try. Scrolls on the intermediates. Pixie's on the intermediates. Not necessarily that's how they're going to roll in the race. So we're just giving them a lap or two to see how they feel. Zach is out on the racing super softs. Possibly looking to dodge a few puddles. So yeah, still have quite a few big blotches of water on the track, especially down his back half. Possibly a few bits up the start-finish straight. Let's have a look. Yeah, so still quite a few puddles on the track for guys to try and avoid. These super softs are not going to like these corners in the wet. They don't like them in the dry. See how he gets on through turn 1. Still running a little bit wide through the exits. Not too bad though. They won't be wanting to give away their strategy too much though. On the inside and the outside, nasty corner that one. It seems to be quite dry on the right hand side of the track running down here, a bit wet on the left. Might be worth running out to the right and then swinging over. Quite a bit of water on this corner as well, turn 3. Still a bit of rain coming down. Though. Yeah, again seems quite wet on the left hand side of the track down here. Ooh. Sam just having to avoid Simon or James through there. Out of there. Just gotta disappear for 1 minute. special of me. I don't usually do this, but if you want post-race interviews at the end of this one, then you're gonna have to give me 1 minute. Sorry about that, people. Still haven't found what I went looking for. Right, so there might have to be some jiggery pokery at the end of this race for post-race commentary. I do have to, for some reason, fire up 2 sets of headphones, and I don't know what I've done with the other set actually. It's a little bit random. So I might have to pull the plug on the sound on the stream just to plug it into the PlayStation to get a chat with the drivers. Let's just let him know I'm back, so he's not hanging about for me. So race 2, as I say, reverse grid. NGR start ghosting out, that's when race 2 begins. Here we go then, I would have thought. There you go. So can the top drivers from race 1 battle their way through and get through to the front of race 2? We'll find out after 15 minutes. So Simon Hillary's going to hold pole position for race 2, NGR Cutler 2nd, Scarwall's 3rd, Bigsy 4th, Tom in 5th, Morgan 6th, Zach in 7th, James in 8th, Nathaniel in 9th, Dan in 10th, Toby in 11th, Andy in 12th, and Potter McPot Neville in 13th. So as they head off from the start line for race 2, Simon Hillary under pressure already from Scarwalls and Cutler down the inside for those two. So Cutler will be 2P1 then. Scarwalls right on his bumper. Simon Hillary now being hounded by Bigsy for that 3rd position. Bigsy already got his nose in front. And now a good car length as well. So Simon Hillary pushed down into 4th. Now going to fend off Tom and Zach as they head up to turn 2. Let's just stick with these drivers, see if everyone gets through cleanly. awkward corner. Everyone doing pretty good through there though. Scarwall's now up to the front, getting past Cutler through turn 2 then. He's doing as I thought, sticking over to the right hand side of the track and then swinging over to the left to get the line into the turn. So he is rolling on the intermediates. Cutler's run himself wide through turn 3 onto the sand. That slowed him down. He's now got a melee of minis behind him, going to sweep through as he heads down towards turn 4. So where's he gone already? NGR Cutler then pushed down into 12th, coming under pressure for that 12th position as well from Simon Hillary. Getting past him. Cutler's picked up a bit of a penalty as well, so he's off track action then. That's cost him dearly for Cutler from second to last. A lot of work to do. 13 minutes, 2 minutes gone. Scarwall's still leading this one. He's got a bit of a gap as well. He's got a second from NGR Bigsy. He's running deep through that last turn though. So Bigsy's going to close right down on it now. Tom and Zach in the slipstream as they head up towards turn 1. Clean. It's bumper action from those two. That's what we like to see. Nice and cleanly through turn 1. Down towards turn 2 now. The more awkward corner. Slightly more grip in race 2, obviously. Less water on the track. Actually rocking the full wet tyres for race 2 as well. So we'll see how they got on. Scarwall's then getting into trouble through there. Slowing down Bigsy behind him. That's just allowed Tom and Zach to close right up. Dan's smashed on the back of Zach now as well. He's in 5th. Goes up into 6th. 7th. Glitching from Morgan, sideways through turn 3 then. He's even driving that car. Potterman Pot from back of the grid then all the way up into 8th at the minute. His rival from race 1 right behind him though in race 2. James Hillary in 10th then. Being hammered by Toby Goodman for that position. Toby's looking to go for a move. No, he's backed out of that one. James putting in purple sectors though on this is lap 2, that will happen to everyone. One of the glitches of the game, everyone puts in purple sectors in every sector on the track. Don't take anything by that, but James and Toby fighting it out then for this 10th position. James going a bit wide through there, can Toby sneak through? Oh, James has just had to take avoiding action. Lucky he didn't clatter into the side of Toby and take him completely out, or the pair of them out, picking up a penalty for his trouble. And then behind them, NGR Cutler's managed to get back past James Hillary up into 12th, Simon Hillary. So a big old penalty, 1.4 seconds as well to try and lose. He's going a bit deep through there as well, lost a bit of his penalty. There's a bit of time now as well though. So back out front then, Scarwall's, he's still got a second lead. Tom's managed to get himself past Bigsy up into 2nd. So Bigsy now pushed down into 3rd. Zach's gone for a little bit of a move down the inside in turn 2. He's got that done as well. So 3 wide then as they head down the hill towards turn 3. Got Bigsy, Dan and Blackwell side by side. Through then, looking to make a move on Bigsy, pushing Bigsy into the sand. Bigsy's race done for a while unless he can get back on track. Where is he? Bigsy back on track. Oh, Bigsy back in 13th, still trying to get that mini out of the sand. So back out front then, Scarwall's still leading. TS closing down on him though, half a second he's taken out of that time already. taking that third position, Potter and Pot, and looked like Morgan getting into a bit of trouble. BG third, then Dan in fourth, Zach in fifth, and Potter and Pot up into sixth now. Morgan now putting Moleman under some pressure, or Moleman putting Morgan under some pressure, but that slowed them both down, so Toby's able to try. Is he going to get through? And nearly 4 wide as they head up here. So they are almost going to be 4 wide, not quite. Morgan's run himself completely too deep though. There's Morgan now, so Morgan's been pushed down into 10th. So Toby's up into 7th then. He's now looking to put the pressure on Potter and Pot in front. Big gap though in front, 3 seconds to Potter and Pot, 6th place. Moleman are putting the pressure on Toby as well. So Moleman in 8th currently, 2nd place in race 1. James in 9th. He's got 1.3 seconds to try and close up, 1.4 seconds now to try and close up on Moleman in front. He's got Morgan just under a second back. His off-track action. So Cutler then up into 11th. He's got it wrong through there. Maybe a little bit of contact between him and Simon. Both on track though. And Bigsy, looks like Bigsy might be sitting this one out. He's already lost a minute of time, and he's in the pits now as well. So Scar Wars then. What's happened here? Nathaniel's managed to get past Tom. Now it's Nathaniel putting all the pressure on Scar Wars as they head down towards this last few corners. Scar Wars holding out at the minute though. So extending his gap a little bit through there. So Nathaniel having to go defensive from Tom behind. Just slowed him down a little bit. Got down the L behind. Fend off Potter and Pot now for that 4th position. Potter and Pot's got his nose in front. Back of the pack, Potter's up to 4th already. Halfway through this race. Through turn 1 cleanly. Now piling the pressure on the 3 drivers in front. Not that far off TS either. So Dan pushed down into 5th then. Zach's 6th. He's got a little bit of a gap back to Moleman in 7th, who has finally got past Toby Goodman now. Try and close in on the 5 drivers, sorry, 6 drivers in front. So James Hillary in 9th. So the lot drivers picking up penalties. Awkward corners these ones. So James Hillary in 9th. Just got to be careful on Morgan behind him. He's closing in a little bit. Of a second down to 0.5. Closing in on break into turn 3 as well. Oh, it looked like he was going to lose the back end of that Mini there. Like he was going into the corner sideways, and the wrong kind of sideways as well. But he has closed in on James Hillary through there. That gap down to 1/4 second. James might just have to think about going a little bit defensive in some of these turns, which could compromise his attack on Toby in front. 11th then. Simon Hillary still piling the pressure on him for that position currently. So having a better race 2 for Simon Hillary. Yeah, Bigsy obviously sitting this one out. Scar Wars still leading the way though. So 10 minutes in, 5 minutes remaining. He's deep through the last couple of turns. He's kept the position though, not picked up a penalty for the shut him out. He's picked up a 2.5 penalty. So he's got to try and drop that and fend off the attacks from the drivers behind. So losing a little bit through there, but that's just allowed these drivers to close right up. Nathaniel's right on his rear bumper then. It's going to be 1/4 second by the time they get out to turn 2. It's going to be closer than that in fact, sorry, they're on a different straight. So Nathaniel might be able to make a move for P1 here. He does do. Scar Wars loses his penalty. blocks off then the attack from behind from TS. Pot then up into 4th, right in this fight now. Dan's up into 5th, not that far off this fight either. Zach with him. There's a bit of a gap back to Moleman in 7th. See these minis just trying to get loose as they hit the curbs under braking. It's just allowed Toby Good to close back in on Moleman. Oh, that's a good view. So MBG has taken the lead then. TS has managed to get past him, Scarwalls as well, pushing Scarwalls down into 3rd. He's still got a 2nd penalty to lose. Pot now looking to make a move down the inside of Scarwalls. A little bit of contact between those two drivers as they go through there. Pot should win that one. Although Scarwalls has now got his nose down the inside on the exit of this chicane section. Now have the inside line into the final sector. Let's just stick with this. Some different lines through there. Pot maybe looking to go for a bit of a cutback. Not able to do it. He's now got to worry about Dan and Zach behind him. So now down the inside of Scarwalls. Have the inside line into T1 as well. Does already say P3 on his name tag. So just holding off Scarwalls for that position at the minute. Scarwalls coming under pressure from that position from Dan as well. Dan sneaking through, taking 4th off Scarwalls, pushing Scarwalls down into 5th. Zach's now piling pressure on him. He's got on board with Zach as he tries to hunt down Scarwalls in front. So Scarwalls going from P1 and leading this race reasonably comfortably to now, a little bit of contact in front. Maybe a bit of glitching as well. Now having to fend off drivers for 5th place. So the penalties being dished out there. Zach losing a bit of time to those two drivers in front. Possibly be able to make that time on the braking. He's rocking the full wet tyres. TS has run himself deep through turn 3, as has Scarwalls, as has Zach. He's managed to keep it just about on track though. 2 tyres on the sand. Kept it on track. Kept that into 5th at Scarwalls. His off-track action now being pushed down to 8th position, possibly 9th. Yeah, so Morgan getting through there as well. Scarwalls having all sorts of issues. Chewitt 10th then, so he's closing in on Scarwalls as well. Big gap back to Cutler. He's still battling it out for that 11th position with Simon Hillary though. Left on the clock, so it doesn't look like Simon's going to be able to get that position off Cutler, but he's stuck with him. Pot then piling the pressure on for P1. This will be last lap. We've got 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Pot has got 6 corners to try and make this work. G then, he's got a quarter of a second in front of Potter. Potter does know this track pretty well. He's side by side with Nathaniel as they head up the hill. You take a different line through there. So just holding his line. Potter not having to take a wide line through there. That keeps him in 2nd currently. Dan up into 3rd then. Still a close battle then really. These minis still tightly packed. So Potter then going for a completely different line through turn 3. Does he get the move done through here? He's past him, but will MBG be able to keep that line? I don't think he will. He's had to tuck back into the slipstream for Potter McPot. So Potter McPot then final lap. He's just snuck through into P1. Started at the back of the pack. He's fought his way through. He's just taken that P1 off of Nathaniel. He's just got to be careful of Dan behind as well. good racing in race 2. Not having the best outcome they could possibly have. MEG then going for a bit of a late last corner lunge. So it does look like Pot's going to keep this position. MEG's not going to get enough toe down this start finish straight to take the win. Pot then goes for a bit of a jink across the line, takes P1, MEG P2, Dan in P3, Tom in P4. Why is it flicked so far down? Moleman P5, Toby P6, Morgan P7, Zach in P8, James P9, Scar Wars P10, Cutler managing to fend off Simon Hillary in 11th, and Simon Hillary coming in 12th. Biggsy sitting this one out. He did get punted pretty wide. I don't know who by, I can't remember. So into the sand he went, and that put him right out of the fight. But yeah, 2 good results from Pot taking the wins in race 1 and race 2. Right, so just expect me to suddenly go quiet if they want post-race interviews. I'll have to pull the plug on these headphones and jam it into a pad. So yes, some good racing again from the sim racers versus real world drivers. What's going on in the chats? LTFC, is that Luton Town, LTFC? Ah, you're my new subscriber, aren't you? Yes, you are. Thank you very much, mate. Is that Luton Town FC? Should really be my first question, should it? It should be. Yeah, it was brilliant racing. Yeah, it was close and clean, yes. Right, do you know what? I think. Oh no. Okay. It's all right. Forget that. No invitation to a chat. So it's not looking like post-race interviews are happening. Oh, there you go. Potter's left the room, so that's probably not happening, being as he won race 1 and race 2. So that's pretty much going to be it then, if we're not doing post-race interviews. So I do hope you like what you watched. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, all that sort of stuff. So I am back tomorrow night, 8:30 again, for Next Gen Racing's Team versus Team GR3 event. That's a good event, really tight bunch of racers there, difficult cars to control as well. Rear wheel drive, damage is on heavy, tyre wear and fuel depletion is on, so it's all on for these boys. Heavy damage has caused some incidents in some of the races, putting people out in lap 1. There's a lot of controversy, but it does try and promote clean racing. Doesn't always happen, but yeah, come and check that out at 8:30 tomorrow. And then I'm not sure if I'm streaming this or not yet. Possibly not, because it might be not safe for work. A big old race on Saturday night for Stewie Mac and Baggy Snails from the P1 boys. So they've been loaded up with the old Big C for a while, and we're putting on a bit of a special event. We sent them a load of beer, so they're going to get a bit of steam and get on track with like Raptors and 50 times tyre wear, etc, etc. So that is Saturday night, but I don't know if I'm streaming that. Sunday night I'm back for the 2 streams. We've got the final round of the BMWs at 7:30, and then we jump straight into, half an hour after that finishes, straight into P1 RC's GR3 event. So that's where you'll see Stewie Mac and Baggy Snails, if they've not got hangovers from Saturday night. And then back Monday for Next Gen Racing's CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. So very similar to this, we do have 2 lobbies running. We've got a Pro and a Pro-Am division. Pros will run with a little bit more power than the Pro-Ams. So in tonight's races, they've been running with 150 brake. I should have mentioned this earlier, really, shouldn't I? 150 brake, and they weigh 1,050 kilos. And on Monday night, the pros run with 220 brake, but same weight. And the Pro-Ams run with the same setup as tonight in these, so 150 brake and 1050 kilos. So yeah, that's my week coming up. Tomorrow night with the GR3s, possibly Saturday with the racing, probably not. Sunday we've got the BMWs 7:30, and then the GR3s at 9 o'clock. Monday 8:30 for the CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup, and back the following Tuesday for next round of this. So Cutler then chopping up the lobby, as you can see on screen, ready for tomorrow night's race, the Next Gen MRC SimFX CRT Team versus Team GR3 event. So where are we? Monza. I don't think we are Monza. I'm sure we did Monza the other week. So yes, that's about it, people. I'm going to end this stream now. So yes, like I say, I hope you like what you watched. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mum. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.